107.5 WGCI, the size number one for hip hop and R&B. It's the morning show with the destined legend Leon Rogers, the beautiful Kendra G, myself, the shortest damn man in Chicago, Kyle. And in the studio right now, man, the stars of the show you see all the time on FX is going down with Snowfall. So we're going to start with ladies first. Miss Angela Lewis is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we said we got, +1 on
That's
the way.
right. Yeah.
Okay. Also, the brother Isaiah John is here. What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, good to see you. And also, welcome back again. Damson Idris is here as
What's
well.
up?
How you feeling, man?
Beautiful, man. I also like to say there's a fourth member.
Okay.
Angela's baby's actually, the name is Damsonella.
Wait, are you the daddy? No. Okay, when you say something like that. See?
Shoot myself in the foot. Her husband's downstairs.
So, look, you guys are here to talk about Snowfall. Airs tonight on FX Chicago at 9 p.m. And you guys are, what, in your third season?
Yeah.
Third season.
It's exciting, right?
I'm a Snowfall fan. Like, sincerely, I always say this. Y'all are such great actors. Like, I'm totally impressed with your characters because you really bring your characters to life. Like, Angela, we're on season 3, but I'll never forget season 1 when you beat the girl up in the yard. Isaiah, I just really enjoy you because you have this ride or die, connection with Franklin on the show. And I just love your acting. And then Franklin, Damson, you take my breath away as Franklin because you changed the accent.
I'm a big deal.
You take away the accent, and just to watch Franklin become this, becoming a drug lord, which kind of breaks my heart, but I'm still like the journey. And it's hard for me to say into something on television, but literally, you guys in Power are my favorite shows on TV right now.
Bless you.
Thank
Bless
you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. Oh, I guess I could give this part away because you killed your best friend, which I thought was a lie. I really thought at some point in time they were going to say he's not really dead.
Everybody thought that.
Yeah, like I really thought that. I was like, he didn't really die from blood and all that stuff. So like the backstory is, in season 3 is when the beginning you're starting to realize that your connection might be somebody more than what you thought he is because he was able to get you out of jail.
Yes. And I say that is one of the most important aspects of the show. The CIA's influence in the cocaine epidemic in the 80s. And what that means for African Americans today and all of America.
Right. And that's something that, a lot of people don't necessarily touch on, but I feel like we know that. Like, we feel like drugs has been infiltrated into our community, causing a lot of the problems that we have now.
Guns too.
Guns and drugs. Because I always say that when we talk about all of the issues that we have in our hoods, me personally, whether it's dysfunctional families, whether it's fathers not being in the home, whether you feel like people aren't going to work because of welfare, in my opinion, it all starts with drugs in the community, and it breaks everything else down.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Domino effect.
Yeah, domino effect, correct. Exactly.
So Isaiah, I think it's your first time on the radio with us.
Yes.
I've seen you at the movie premieres that we've done after the screening at times. But talk about your experience with being on this show.
I mean, of course, it changed my life. It definitely set the foundation for the rest of my career. And it's a beautiful thing because it's a great start. So I'm definitely super excited for the rest of, my life and my career.
Yeah.
Starting with Snowfall and these beautiful people that I get to act with and create with.
Yes.
And you guys know Isaiah was a janitor before this.
No, didn't know that.
Yes.
Really?
He was a janitor and then booked Snowfall.
Yeah,
You were a janitor where?
for 2 years in Atlanta.
Were you doing acting? Were you trying to pursue acting?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to pursue acting for like 9 years, but it just wasn't
Harry
wasn't working.
Belafonte was a janitor before he
Yeah,
started.
yep.
So you got this one role and it changed your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Wow.
And it's-
You-
Yeah, his
I
life
didn't-
changed when he met me.
Can we address the obvious thing in the room, because this is a hairstyle that I haven't seen
Oh
in
my
quite some
God.
time, brother.
Is it a Jerry girl? Is your
That was gonna be my
natural
question.
color? What's your ethnicity?
My grandfather's Indian. My grandmother on my dad's side.
Everybody got Indian. They
No, like
Right.
from
I hear
India.
it
No,
that.
like from India, because my dad's from
East Indian.
Trinidad, and then on my mom's side, her mother was half white and black.
Oh.
So it's just a whole mix of
So this is not. I was like, boy, he really taking this West Coast '80s look to heart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut my hair off because people be walking down the street. Hey, Jerry Curl, I haven't seen that in a long time. I'm like, man, it's not Jerry Curl.
But you're a sweetheart on real life, but sometimes I love and hate you on the show. I love your loyalty to Franklin, but then You could be a hard, but I also love how you give Franklin the real deal. Like you talk, like you're like the real friend of the show.
Yeah.
But I want to go to Angela real quick because you are with child now. You
Yeah.
weren't pregnant on season 2.
Correct.
Will you be pregnant on season 3?
I'm not telling. You gotta watch.
We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask you guys this, because obviously it's your job to be actors, right? But this is a time period when you guys weren't in these streets. I'm assuming that you guys aren't drug dealers and things of that nature. So what is it?
I am.
So how do you get into the characters on the show and really embed yourself into that lifestyle, into that mentality? Like, are there techniques? Like, how do you really dive into these characters?
My technique is I study reality and the truth of the situation. I study real life people who have been through it. My inspiration was Frank Lucas, Freeway, YE Enterprise, Bo. There's so many people on the West Coast and all around America who this drug affected and changed their lives. And the beauty of this story is that Franklin's character is a character that anyone and any viewer could be, because he starts off so innocent and so pure.
Right.
And from this season and from this first episode that you're going to see tonight, you're going to see just how deranged and how dark this epidemic and this drug was and what it did to everyone.
So this like what I love about you guys. You come to Chicago every year to promote the show, and you know this is our 3rd year. And since the beginning, John Singleton used to always come on the run with you guys in Chicago too. And obviously we've been so devastated by the recent passing of John Singleton, and I'm quite sure you guys weren't prepared for that. It shocked us out of everywhere. So, you know, with a person that created this show and you were working with so closely, how are you guys doing?
I mean, you know, it's very sad. And but I think we have each other and we lift each other up and we keep each other, you know, in good spirits, and we, you know, everybody has a shoulder for everybody else if you need to have a moment. And I think that that's just a part of that's being family, and that's what we are.
Yeah.
Damson, I saw you spoke at the BET Awards about it.
Yeah, you know, no tribute would ever be big enough for that man.
Yeah.
He was monumental. He was my sensei. And, I mean, what he left us was the codes. And we always say, you know, we've got this chair with his name on it on set, and no one sits in it, just to let everyone know that he's still here. And he is still here. You know, and he was so passionate about this show, so passionate about the people he brought in. And he's definitely the main reason, if not the only reason, why I'm here today.
Is there one particular? I know there's probably a ton of things. There's a ton of lessons. There's a ton of examples about John, how John has affected your lives. But if each of you could maybe just give us like one little gem that he may have left with you all, you know, in his passing. Like, what's that one thing when you think of John? The first thing that pops into your mind that he did for you?
He used to always tell me, come on, I need more Detroit, which I learned translated to being your power. You know, I'm much more laid back than Louis. And, you know, my interest into the character is so John and all the writers gave me they give you situations, and I have to try to figure out, well, why does this character do this? Why am I doing that? And I might not understand it, but if I can get underneath and understand, and I know my character, where she comes from, all the things that she's been through, and that allows me to understand the reasoning behind the actions. And once I have that, then I have to be able to stand in that, stand in my power, and go for it.
How about you, Isaiah?
For me, you know, I just studying John and watching him, he's a fighter. So he instilled that fight in everyone, and everyone could respect that about him, because he didn't just take no as an answer. You know, whatever he believed in, he fought for it, and he loved his people. You know, so, and he made that known that this is for his people, period.
Yeah.
You know, so that's definitely one thing that's going to stick with me for the rest of my career, for sure.
Damson?
I've always said that my potential is my greatest inspiration, and that's because of John Singleton. He'd lift me up, and he'd always compare me to like these icons of the acting world who'd be like, oh man, you reminded me of Portier in that scene and stuff like that, and it would always uplift me. But one thing he said was, no matter how big you do get, Damson, remember that you should always come back to your people, and you should always do everything for your people, and that as long as your people rock with you, you'll always have a home.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I always remember.
Beautiful, strong stuff right there, man. John Singleton, he's legendary. I mean, just the films and the projects that he's created over the years. is embedded himself in all of our lives. You know what I mean? He's given us films that have transformed how we look at things. Everything from Boys in the Hood up to Snowfall, up to things like Higher Learning. He's put all these different canvases. You know what I mean? It's not just the streets. He's taking you to the classroom and the campuses, and there's just so many different walks of life that he touched on, and he was able to bring it to the screen to kind of show the dynamics of us as people and the things that we go through and why people react the way they do.
I really loved him. Like, you know, obviously I met him when you guys came here like 2 years ago, and we had our own friendship. And he always told me, like, Kendra, you too loud to be in a movie. You got to learn how to be more quiet. He was like, you too loud. So I think of that. And I got a really cool video. I'm gonna show you guys after that we did on the red carpet when y'all were here last year with him. But I love that you guys are still keeping his legacy alive. And I'm so serious. If you have never seen Snowfall, backtrack, start from season 1. You will not be disappointed. If you are a fan of Power, you will be a fan of Snowfall. It's such a good show. It really is. I'm very proud of all of you.
And just to throw in the end, Snowfall is more based in reality than Power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
It's a great show. So check out Snowfall tonight, season 3. I can't wait.
So we appreciate you all being here. Damson Idris, Angela Lewis, Isaiah John. Thank you so much for keeping the legacy going. Thank you for visiting us. You guys don't have to come to Chicago every year, but thank you for coming. And the premiere, I mean, it was a success. So thank you guys for doing that as well. And we just appreciate what you guys are doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, it's WGCI.